Coming up on this edition of Sports Zone, we have highlights from football, volleyball, and soccer.
We have an in-studio interview with Fighting Saints head coach Jim Montgomery.
And we have a live report from the women's soccer game at the Rock Bowl.
All this and more coming up on Sports Zone.
We're starting the night off by welcoming a new team to the Loras campus. Women's lacrosse will be added to the athletic lineup starting fall 2012.
We spoke with Athletic Director Bob Quinn and Sports Information Director John Denham about this East Coast sport and why it's coming to Loras. NCAA men's and women's lacrosse have 2 seasons. Fall is the non-traditional or preseason. Spring is the traditional season. Women's lacrosse is no contact. However, contact is allowed in men's. This makes women's lacrosse generally less expensive because it requires less equipment. Since cost was a major factor in the decision to bring lacrosse to Loras, administration opted to introduce women's first. Loras hopes to have a coach hired by Thanksgiving. The Dewhawks will play UD, whose lacrosse club will become a team next year, Augustana, Aurora University, and schools in the Collegiate Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Quinn has high hopes for the program, and Denham is confident in it.
I hope that it provides our student athletes with a great experience athletically and with regards to learning those life lessons that we all learn in athletics. I hope it continues to impact and become an integral part of our athletic program and the Loras College campus and institution.
The cost to turn around and start a women's lacrosse program is manageable, and it's something that Loras College, in terms of facilities and staff and support, is going to be able to turn around and open the doors on without much trouble.
More information will be available as soon as Loras hires a coach. Those who are curious about the program are encouraged to contact Bob Quinn.
After a terrible 70-7 loss against Central, the Loras football team was looking to change its luck. Coach Merkowitz and the Dewhawks took on the Co-College Co-Hawks in the Rock Bowl on Saturday. In the first quarter, quarterback Brad Boyle gets things going for the Co-Hawks and connects with running back Joe Langenberg to put Co up 7-0. In the second quarter, Boyle struggles for an opening and starts to run as he looks to Nick Radford for the throw, but Loras sophomore Dave Burkle intercepts it, and this would lead to a touchdown for the Dewhawks. Later in the game, Geesley makes a long throw attempt right here. Nice little pass to Gavin Kaiser on the sidelines, makes the catch, makes a nice, impressive spin move, and takes it to the house for a 71-yard touchdown to put the score tied up at 14. Unfortunately, with some QB sacks and Geesling's shoulder injury, the Dewhawks come out unsuccessful with a final score of 28-21. The Dewhawks will head to Mount Vernon Saturday to take on the Cornell College Rams.
The 14th ranked Loras women's soccer team hosted Senior Day on Sunday. The Dewhawks took on the Washington University Bears. Madeline Tennant dribbles around 2 Wash U defenders and finds Tanya Lohmeyer, who puts the ball in for the Dewhawks' first goal. Fan base loves it. Kate Young goes head-to-head with goalie Clara Jacques and Kate Doyle, and somehow the ball finds the net. Dewhawks up 2-0. Just 1 minute after Loras' second goal, Jessie Kern takes advantage of a confused Wash U goalkeeper. Loras gets 3 unanswered scores in the first half. Emily Gaucher can't make the goal kick here, but teammate Mary Greenberg taps it in for the Bears' first score. Senior Jessie Kern knows how important this win is.
This was a big deal because it tells us that we could play high-ranked teams, and that brings us a good step into the NCAAs.
Final tally, Loras 3, Washington University 1.
Now on to the men's game, where Loras honored 9 outstanding individuals, including Kyle Quillen, Chris Comstock, Donald St. George, Colin Pekovic, and Nate Dubois. Wash U's offense was no match for the Dewhawks' defense. Loras tried to capitalize, but Tim Bendigberg's attempt is spoiled by Wash U's goalie Jonathan Jepson. Goalkeeper Nate Dubois describes the biggest game-saving stop that he made on the day.
I knew I had to come up big. The guy gave a glance, and I just went with that. I love Loras College, I love the fans, and just everything.
In double overtime, the team's tied at 0. The women are playing the Cornell Rams right now in the Rock Bowl. Sports Zone reporter Mike Splitgerber is live at the game.
Split, how are the women doing?
Hey guys, well the women are already up 6-0, and it's just the second half is just beginning. We got goals beginning from freshman Daniel Vujovic. She scored 2, and then we got the ball rolling with Kate Young, Jill Lieberforth, Christina Everdink, Hillary Wilson round out the 6 goals. Coach Rothert has some substitutes in right now. That's great for the Duhawks going into the conference tournament. He's going to look to keep the starters fresh, and that's going to help.
That's awesome. How do you think the men will fare against the Rams tonight?
Well, I think probably the men will do about the exact same as the women. It should be a pretty easy game for the guys. Cornell is without a victory so far in conference, and it's going to help them. Like I said, with the women, it's going to help Coach Rather put in some substitutes, maybe some seniors that haven't seen some playing time this year, and it's going to keep their starters fresh. And also the guys play at 8 p.m. tonight, so after the show, guys, make sure you come out and watch the Duhawks.
Thanks, Split.
As Split said, you can catch all the action at 8 p.m. tonight when the men take on the Rams.
Volleyball was looking for an underdog win, facing the conference-leading undefeated Cohawks at home Wednesday night. The Duhawks could not manage a victory for the seniors' final game. Loris came out ready for a brawl, winning the first set 25-22. With this amazing save by libero Michaela Mertens, the Duhawks were pumped up and ready for round 2. The Cohawks weren't going down without a fight, taking the second game 26-24. With the lead 2-1 in Co's favor, Loris needed to play a flawless fourth game, and they did just that. They took the game 25-17, taking the match to 5 games. Co went on to an 8-5 lead and didn't look back from there, winning 15-11.
We definitely had some good moments in the game, and we played really hard. Like, you can't take that away from us.
The loss puts the Duhawks at a 4-3 record in the IAC Conference.
Tonight we're joined by head coach of the Dubuque Fighting Saints, Jim Montgomery. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Coming off of last year's championship season, how do you refocus a team to prepare for another hopeful championship year?
Well, we have 7 returning players that are very hungry to do it again. And the great thing about junior hockey is there's a lot of turnover. So these players want to come in and prove themselves. But for us, the consistency comes from a team-first attitude and trying to get better every day. And we feel that if we get better every day and everyone believes in a team-first attitude, we're going to be able to prevail in the end.
Now, last year was the first year that the Saints were back in town after 20 years. You had a new team, new players, new organization. How did you accomplish what you guys accomplished?
Well, I think first and foremost, the credit goes to my hockey operations staff. Joe Coombs, Bobby Kinsella, the 2 assistant coaches went out and they found great players that come from great families. We wanted to build our team with players with great hockey sense and have a lot of heart, and they compete really hard. And Adam Micheletti, our director of hockey ops, also helped out. They provided us with a talent base that was really good. We knew in September that we would be very good. But we managed, our expectations were low, so we could just concentrate on ourselves and getting better every day. And the talented players that we had that just believed in themselves, I think, is what prevailed.
And lastly, Coach, what is your favorite thing about coaching the Dubuque Fighting Saints?
Well, one is the ownership group that I work for. They're just great. They allow us to go out and treat our players with first class, that they're the most important asset. And that is first and foremost. We have local owners, Dr. Dave Field and Mark Falb, that are at every game, and the support, and it's always positive. It's what do you need, So that's one. 2 would be Dubuque itself, and for 2 reasons. One is the great fans we have. We have passionate hockey fans in Dubuque, and it's a great place to live.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. After this quick water break,
it was something I kind of backed into rather than really planning that out.
we talk to the backbone of Loras College athletics. We sit down with outstanding Duhawk soccer player and we reveal this week's most valuable Duhawk. Stay tuned.
I find inspiration all around me, from those that push me to think and to grow, to move forward, because to stand still is to fall behind. That's not my plan. I'm just getting started. My life is just beginning. My major is inspiration.
Sports fans don't always see the effort that goes into maintaining facilities and athletic gear.
With 21 sports and over 200 athletes, Loras has just one man to put all the pieces together.
Behind the scenes of Loras College athletics, one very important man is hard at work. Without equipment manager Jeff Kilberg, fans wouldn't have access to bleachers, shower towels would be in short supply, and no one would have clean uniforms.
I make sure that all the gear for the different teams is taken care of, it's issued to everyone, make sure that we inventory it, that they get it back before games. I usually get here between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. I like to get here early because you never know what you're going to find. You know, sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, so it's just good to have that extra time to prepare. It really varies during the seasons. In the fall now, I'll stop at the field house, I'll do soccer laundry, I come down here, I'll start with football, basketball, or volleyball. I'll be back and forth. While the loads are washing, I'm sorting, getting ready for the next event. I hate folding towels. It's an easy job. It's the most boring thing in the world. So, you know, it's not a fun thing to do. I have a lot of good support. They're very good to me. The student athletes are good to me. The coaches are good to me. So I think that's the thing I like is just the people of Loras. You know, whether you're an employee or whether you're a student athlete, you know, that's what's best.
This year on SportsZone, we are digging deep into the record books to find out what's happened in Duhawk athletics over the years. So what happened during this week in Duhawk history? On October 27, 2001, the Loras women's soccer team won its first IAC championship with a dramatic 2-1 win over Cornell. With the score tied at 1, Tracy Stephen made the game-winning goal for the Duhawks on a direct kick. Get this, there were just 19 seconds remaining on the clock. With the win, Loras not only captured its first Iowa Conference championship, but also received its first automatic bid to the NCAA Division III National Tournament.
From being a Division I athlete to finding his home at Loras, Donald St. George has been through it all and tells it all in this week's Duhawk Spotlight.
First picked up soccer along with every other sport I could get my hands on when I was a kid. I pretty much just wanted to play everything. They always supported me. My mom was my first soccer coach. She always had some fun stuff to do at practice, which kind of got me into the game a little bit. But I mean, I just always enjoyed playing. The entire first season I was playing at Marquette, I was 17 years old, playing with 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. We had 21-year-old freshmen. It was just a whole different world. Everybody wants to do that D1 thing, but when I got there and realized what it really was a lot, you know. And there were some other things that I wanted to accomplish in college. There really might be no tomorrow. I mean, I've lived it and it sucks. And you never know when you're gonna go down. But I mean, even if you don't go down, the 4 years here flies by. So I've just tried to come back and kind of bring the approach that you take a day at a time. Seriously consider what kind of soccer experience you want to have in college, you know. And for me, my pride got the better of me. I wanted nothing more than to do the D1 thing. And when I got there, it wasn't all cracked up. It wasn't all that it's cracked up to be, for me at least. Soccer is really the only thing I've ever truly loved doing. So, I mean, I know I can't be doing that forever, and I know that clock's, you know, ticking down on me right now. So the decision to come back wasn't all that tough. And I mean, given the team and the success we had and the relationships I've developed, you know, through the team, it was kind of a no-brainer. I mean, I don't even worry about going down again. If it happens, it happens. It's totally worth it.
Even though the Duhawk football team had a close loss on Saturday against Co, one player stood out amongst the rest. Gavin Kaiser had a career day, and he is awarded with this week's Most Valuable Duhawk. The senior wideout had 6 receptions, along with 131 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Kaiser also had 66 return yards, giving him 197 all-purpose yards. The senior from Galena, Illinois, leads the team in receiving with 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. He looks to have another breakout game this Saturday when the Duhawks play away at Cornell College.
After this timeout,
we're continually keeping an up and down motion, hopefully, and we have to do that for 2 minutes.
a local couple brings its game on the dance floor.
And we compete in a loving sports challenge. It's all coming up.
I'm on myduhawk.com.
I'm on my Duhawk.
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 I'm on myduhawk.com. Are you?
myduhawk.com. Delivering you Dubuque.
What is a knight?
A knight speaks out for justice,
is giving to others,
participates in his church,
supports his brothers,
loves his country.
And a knight is centered in Christ.
What is a knight?
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am a Knight of Columbus.
Join us.
Dancing as a sport is growing in popularity with shows like Dancing with the Stars.
One Dubuque couple shares their multi-championship story. SportsZONE reporter Mike Gelston has more.
David Orr and his wife Carol Burkhart Orr have been dancing for more than 20 years. Although the two are now married, they began to dance separately.
My wife at that time wanted to do something as a couple, and so she suggested that we take dance lessons, so that got it started. As time progressed, I kept seeing people who were better, and I'm very competitive, and so I got the urge that I wanted to get better at it.
I've always had an interest in dancing. I've always loved, especially country music. That's the household I grew up in. In my first marriage, we took up square dancing. So that was really where I started to get the feel of dance.
How did the couple finally meet to bring their dancing careers together?
In 2001, out at the fairgrounds, I met my lovely wife, Carol, there. And we started dancing together, just socially and just having fun. And she said, you know, one of the things in my life is my mom and sisters have never seen me dance. And there was a competition in 2002 in Dubuque. And so we entered it. We won our division in it. And we looked at each other and said, you know, we both have the urge to do this.
Since then, the two have competed in dozens of competitions and have showcased their skills outside of the tri-states.
We won our first Chicago this year. We won our first Indianapolis competitions. We got second in Nashville, which was the highest ever we've done.
But for Carol, it's all about the memories in different competitions.
Just having the compliments and the encouragement from other people really keeps you going. I can't say there is any one in particular. They all have their special moments.
David and Carol show no signs of stopping and will keep dancing until they reach their ultimate goal.
My goal, personal goal, is to get a first place in one dance. I'd love to do that.
Until then, the couple will keep on dancing the night away. For SportsZONE, I'm Mike Gelston.
As we approach week 9 of college football, the number of undefeated teams is dwindling. We chose 4 of them and asked you which one you think will win the rest of their games.
Most of you think LSU will remain undefeated, but Alabama came in second with 23% of the votes, Stanford and Oklahoma State taking 3rd and 4th place respectively.
There are a handful of other teams that are still undefeated, but do you agree with the fans, Zach, being an LSU fan, and think that LSU will reach that goal?
You know, I think it's going to be tough for them with the Alabama game coming up, but I think LSU is going to pull it out. We busted out the tennis rackets and we went head-to-head in this edition of the Sports Challenge.
See who has the most love. Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Challenge.
This week we're competing in tennis alongside with Rachel Weglars.
This week, Zach and Caitlin are going to compete in a game of tennis to see who is the better tennis player.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
So, give me some tennis pointers. I'm kind of lost out here.
All right, well, basically, probably the best tip I can give you is you really want to move your player around the court. Although it was a challenging game, Zach won the first game. They're going to play the best out of 3.
I lost 2 close games to Zach, but I had fun. I learned a lot. I think I did pretty well. I mean, that's what counts, right? Having fun.
What about my read? Having fun, Caitlin won. Zach nothing. This is what we do here in SportsZONE. So that game really didn't take that long. So Rachel, what's Caitlin's punishment?
Caitlin has to do suicides on the tennis court.
That's all the time we have for you tonight.
Thanks for watching.